Okay, so let's just jump into today's sharing. Okay, last time on Saturday we worked on the reality triangle. Okay, let's see if we can refresh our mind with the reality triangle. Would anybody care to give us some summary or any impression or any realization you guys have about the reality triangle? Because we're going to build on the reality triangle and go into wisdom. What do you guys have? What do you think?
You know what my realization was when you had us repeat, you know, what we know, what we understand, what we believe and understand is represent the information, which represents the reality. Um, just to summarize it totally, so the source concept is our reality. So you don't need the that information, you don't need the energy, you don't need the material. I mean, they all manifest, but the most basic we need is the information, is the source concept. Because once you know the source concept, it becomes your reality.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Yeah.
the,
And
the,
what is the source concept? Source concept is
yeah,
a single word that has a meaning. So what we
yeah.
simplify it by
So
saying
yeah,
source concept. So what
yeah.
is the
So
source concept?
source concept is basically the information, which is
Hmm.
also which information is what we know, what we believe, and what we understand.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
it.
Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So once you have the source concept, you can basically build any concept. Okay. It's the source, right? It is a source concept upon which we build any other source concept. Okay. Um, and the thing about human life and experience, the thing about human life and experience is that um, practically everything that we experience in life boils down to what we know, what we believe, and what we understand. Okay. Um, all things has a material expression, and all things have an energy signature, and they have an information that is from a material world, that is the worldly view from physical objects and things like that. So we use the language of science. We say there's a material expression, there's an energy that bring about that material expression, and then there's the information that is the source of the energy and the material. In the human experience, we apply the idea of material, energy, and information in order to explain human life experience. Okay, human life experience. And the source concept that we have basically determine our reality. So that is why we have a reality triangle. Okay. And not only that, by now we have gone through different ways of looking at um, the source concept within us, the information within us, right? We have from we begin by looking at the scientific view, okay, or the view of science, right? As a human being, some people like to look at life and explain it through the view of science. Other people like to look at life through the view of religion, right, and spirituality. Not all people are religious, but everybody, um, can can say that they are in some way spiritual. And some people depend on moral philosophy to explain and manage their life. And we have been given three standard reference system. The reference system that is based on science, okay, the scientific method, it has to do with clarity and clarity of the outcome and clarity of all the step and clarity of the initial source on the from the scientific perspective or scientific reference system. What is the information within us? What is the root cause within a human being and the root cause of our life from a scientific perspective? Does anybody remember? According to science, from the scientific perspective, what is the root cause within us that bring about the reality of our life?
It's our will to hear, to see, to talk, and to know, which builds
Okay,
our mental images. Yeah.
okay. So we simply call it mental images. Okay, mental images. Okay, the mental images make up our hearing, our seeing, our talking, our knowing. And from the reference system of religion and spirituality, right? From the reference system of religion and spirituality, what is the root cause within us? Or what is the seed within us that give rise to the reality that we experience today from a religious or spiritual perspective? What is the seed or the root cause within a human being when it comes
Re-
to religion and spirituality? That all
relation, I
religion,
think.
the
Yeah.
what?
Relation, I think that a blessing. And
Okay, right. All religion, okay, doesn't matter what religion, I'm talking about legitimate religion, okay, good religion, okay, good religion, all religion, okay, agree that it is your merit, okay, it is your merit that determines your, the quality of life, the experience of life. It is your merit. And you can break it down into, bad, good, and there's a balance merit or the wisdom merit, okay? It's your merit according to the religious and spiritual perspective, right? Um, that determine the quality of life that we have, the experience of life. Okay. And then we have just learned from last week that from a moral philosophy perspective, the good seed within us is what? The source concept. Right? So if anybody have a source concept, meaning if they have the knowing, the believing, and the understanding about anything, then they will be able to create the reality and the experience that they want. Right? So if we want our reality to be desirable and good, okay, from a scientific perspective, what is the good seed? What is the good source concept from the scientific perspective? Is it not positive mental images? Right? We want positive mental images. We want the outcome of life to be positive and desirable. From a religious and spiritual perspective, if we want life to be good and desirable, what are the seed? What is the source concept from a religious and spiritual perspective? It is the merit. It is the good and balanced merit. So we don't want bad merit. Okay? We don't want bad merit. And similarly, from the moral philosophy perspective, if we want our life to be good and desirable, then our source concept, our,
beneficio.
exactly. Yeah. Our knowing, our believing, our understanding, that which we know, that which we believe, that which we understand has to be beneficial. Okay. So
Beneficio.
if we know things and the things that we know are unbeneficial, or we believe in things that are
Beneficio.
unbeneficial, then the outcome of our life is going to be
Beneficio.
undesirable. Okay. So that's pretty simple. Okay. Good review. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So now that we have this, now that we have the three reference systems and we have the three ways of looking at the root cause of a human life and perspective, we can begin to discuss the concept you can begin to discuss the concept, an important concept of perception. Okay, perception. Perception comes from our awareness and perception. Awareness is our first coming to, awareness and be conscious of something. Perception is it's the way in which we perceive the world and perceive ourselves. Okay, and our perception will give rise to our mindset. Okay, our perception gives rise to our mindset. Our mindset is our thinking mind. Our thinking mind. Okay, the way we think. Most other coaching methods that you encounter help you change your mindset, right? We hear about all the time, mindset, 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 change your mindset. Okay, and of course, if you can change your mindset, then you ultimately can change your behavior.
So the behavior, the perception does mean mental images.
Okay, good, good. Yeah, we'll get there in a bit. Okay, good.
And then, right, from perception, start from what you hear, what you see, what you think, what you talk.
Okay.
So if we uh, choose any information we hear, we see
Mhm.
from the social environment, we can collect new images and perceive images. And then we form the mindset. From mindset, we just have perceive mindset and repeat, create behavior. From behavior, good behavior, positive behavior, we, we shape character, the habit,
Okay.
the habit. And the habit follow uh, my repeat, my circumstances, my circle, repeat with up retelling every day, and we create character. It's from character, we good character, we will have good result of life.
Okay. Good. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you
Uh,
for your listening.
all right, I appreciate that. Welcome, Win. So, Win, on Saturday, we talked about the triangle of reality. Have you had a chance to view the recording on the triangle of reality?
Mm, to be honest, I have not. I've been working every day.
Okay.
This week I'm supposed to work 5 days a week,
Oh,
long
bye.
hours.
Okay. 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 So those are some foundational stuff. Okay. We'll figure out a way
I
for
will,
you to catch
yeah,
up.
I will try to view it this weekend.
Okay.
I think it's best for me to put on 2x speed and then I just go through
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Um, okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. Because the triangle of reality is foundational to this sharing, but I will try to make it, make the
I
best of
think
it.
I was at the half. I was like, was I? Did I attend the Saturday? Oh no, I missed it. I missed it the whole. Okay, I forgot.
Okay,
Okay.
so everything may sound strange to you, okay, but see if we can make it understandable. Okay. In its most in its most simplest form. In its most simplest form. Okay. If we can give you a crash course because everything is very important. It's so important. In its simplest form. There we go. Let's do this real quick. Crash course on the triangle of reality. All things in life have something called material expression. Okay? Anything that is material, matter. Remember last time we talked about matter and space and time and all that. Anything that is matter, anything that is real, has something called material expression. Material expression. It is something that we can see, we can feel, we can touch, we can taste, we can measure, right? That is a material expression. For example, lead and gold. Lead has a certain material expression that is very different from gold, right? Lead and gold, very different material. They have material expression, very different. Lead is kind of dull, gold is shiny, okay? So that is a material expression of lead and gold. Now, as scientists study lead and gold, they discover that, okay, forget the blue part. Look at the red part, okay? All things have material expression. Lead and gold. They study lead and gold and they discovered that lead and gold has a specific energy component, right? The specific vibration, okay, last time we talked about vibration energy, the specific vibration of lead gives it the material expression of lead, which is kind of dull and gray. And the specific energy signature of gold give it the specific material expression of gold, which is shiny and yellow. You're clear so far? Because of this energy signature, they can determine what planets and what stars are made of from far, far away, even if they don't touch it, because they have to do is they measure the energy. Okay, so there's an understanding that the energy signature of any material give rise to the actual material expression. As they study further and further, look down and to the fundamental level of lead and gold, they discover that lead has a certain number of protons and electrons, which is distinctly different from gold. Lead has different electrons and protons, and gold has different electrons and protons. And they simply call it information. Okay? If you know the information of lead and you know the information of gold, and if you can change the information within lead, you can turn lead into gold. Do you agree? Yeah, if you know the arrangement of protons and electrons in gold, then all you got to do is change the arrangement of electrons and protons in lead, and then boom, you get gold. Okay, that is how scientists in the material world, in the world review, has been able to change lead into gold. They have been able to change salt water into drinking water. They have been able to, do all kinds of chemical reaction and create all kinds of, material things. Okay, that is the material world. Now, we apply that to human experience. Would you agree that happiness is a material expression? A person who is happy expresses happiness in a certain way that we can feel, we can see, right? Happiness has a certain material expression. Well, guess what? If happiness has a certain material expression, that means it also have a certain energy vibration, which means it also have a certain information. So a person who is happy has a set of information within them that is going to be different than a person who expresses, let's say, unhappiness. Will you agree that the information within a person who is happy is different than the information within a person who is unhappy?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, if you understand that, then if we can change the information inside a human being who is unhappy to match the information inside a human being that is happy, then you can turn an unhappy person to a happy person.
Yep.
Make sense? Similarly with success, right? A successful person has a certain material expression that we can tell, oh, that person looks, successful. The way they look, the way they talk, the way they move about, the material life. We can say, okay, that person has a certain material expression. And so what is the information within that successful person? And if we know that, can we reprogram a failure, okay, an unsuccessful person to have the kind of information that matches that of a successful person, and we can create a successful person, right? That's it. You change the information, you get the material expression. You change the information, you get the result, right? That is a program. Last week we went through a whole neuro-linguistic programming. Okay, so we basically programmed ourselves for happiness and success. Okay, you can review the recording and go through that whole process. But basically, as a human being, we are able to reprogram ourselves into any reality we want. Because as long as we understand the information and as long as we understand what the energy signature is, and we will be able to express that reality materially and experience that reality. And so when it comes to a human being, okay, the information within us, that give rise to our reality is what we know, what we believe, and what we understand. What we know, what we believe, what we understand is the information within us, human being. In other words, it is a source concept. Okay, the source concept that we have about any reality is the information that we have about that reality. What we know, what we believe, what we understand is our source concept, and that source concept determines our experience, our reality. For example, when mentioning happiness, what do we know about happiness? What we believe about happiness? What we understand about happiness makes up the source concept about happiness and therefore represent the reality of happiness that we experience. Is that clear so far?
Yeah.
Right. So when mentioning, health, what we know, what we believe, what we understand about health represent the source concept that we have about health, which represent our reality of health. So that is a statement on causality, the seed and the fruit. The seed is our knowing, believing, understanding. The seed is our source concept. The fruit or the outcome is the material experience that we have about life. Okay? Really fast on triangle of reality. It is such a simple concept, but it's a very powerful one. And when we understand it, we will be able to create any reality that we want, including reality of happiness, including reality of health, including reality of harmonious relationship, as well as financial abundance. All we gotta do is get to the information of a person who is financially abundant. Find out what do we need to know, what we need to believe, what we need to understand. In other words, find out the source concept of material abundance, and then we will be able to create a reality of material abundance. Okay? Clear so far? On the reality triangle, the triangle of reality. That is how our reality is made up. So both from a religious, from a scientific and religious. So we're gonna tie that into the we're gonna tie that into religion and spirituality. Whereas from a scientific perspective, just like letting go, okay, has a material, has the energy, and has the information within it. In terms of a human life and experience, okay, the root cause within us from a scientific perspective, the scientific reference system that we have gone through, the root within us is the mental images. Okay, if we want life to be positive and desirable, we want to cultivate positive mental images. That is the scientific way of creating a reality of we want, because science is all about clarity, about having a clear outcome in mind, having a clear goals in mind, and then going about getting the clear step leading to that outcome. Okay, that is a scientific perspective. From a religious and spiritual perspective, what is the root cause within us that will give rise to a desirable, positive outcome in life? It has to do with our merit. Okay, our good, bad, and balanced merit. The good merit that we do to other people will earn us merit. Okay, the good deed that we perform for other people, making them happy, that will help us earn good merit, and therefore our life will be positive and desirable. It's called being fortunate. Okay, that is a religious and perspective and a spiritual perspective. When we do good deed for other people, the golden rule, right? Do to others what you want done unto yourself. From a religious and spiritual perspective, the good deed that we perform for other people will earn us the merit that will give us the life that is desirable and positive. Okay. Do you understand so far from a religious and spiritual perspective?
Yeah.
Okay. And then from the moral philosophy perspective, we already learned the reality triangle, the source concept. Okay. If we have the knowing, the believing, and understanding that is beneficial, then we are going to get the outcome of life that is beneficial and desirable. But if we know things, if we believe things, and we understand things that are detrimental or unbeneficial, then guess what? The result is the outcome of life that is going to be unbeneficial. Okay, so 3 points of view give us a three-dimensional view of life, give us a more complete perspective on life and how to manage the causality, the cause and outcome of our human life and experience. Okay. Some people are only scientific, other people are religious. It is still incomplete. They will run into problems when science cannot explain something. That's why you will find scientists changing, becoming religious. And then there are people who explain everything in terms of religion, and they run into problem that their religion cannot explain, and then they will lose their faith. Okay, so having the advantage of three perspective, the scientific view, the religious view, and the moral philosophical view will help us get a more complete picture of reality and thereby begin to manage our causality and master our own, life experience. Okay, very powerful, important content last week. So on Saturday, so go ahead and go back and review that. So having had this three reference system, having had this triangle of reality in our hand as a tool to create the kind of reality we want, we talk about the idea of perception. Okay, the idea of perception. Most other coaching systems out there will help us change our mindset. Okay, change our mindset or change our behavior. There's a field of therapy called cognitive behavioral therapy. Okay, you try to change a person's behavior. But have you guys ever run into a situation where you want to change your behavior, but it doesn't work? Maybe you're trying to change your own behavior, start a new habit. Right? Let's say we know that in order to be healthy, we have to eat healthy and exercise. That's a behavior. Eat healthy and exercise. Yet why is it that we don't do it? Why is it that we don't eat healthy and exercise? That's a behavior. We know that positive behavior will lead to positive outcome. But why is it that we don't change our behavior? And we cannot, it's very difficult to change the behavior of other people, including ourselves too. That is because the root cause that give rise to the behavior is our mindset. Okay, our mindset, the way we think, our thinking mind. Okay, our thought. It is our thought that will influence our behavior. So if you want to change your behavior, begin by changing your mindset. Change the way you think. Okay, sounds simple, but not too easy to accomplish. Can you try to change your mind or try to change another person's mind? Is it simple to change a person's mind? Not easy. Okay, it's even harder to change your own mind. Once your mind is set on something, okay, set your mind on something, it's difficult to change a person's mind. So there has to be something more deeper than the mind. Okay, so what give rise to a person's mindset? What give rise to the way they think? Okay, a pattern of thought that repeated is it's called a mindset. Okay, what give rise to a person's mindset? It has to do with their perception of reality. Okay, so really, there's an arrow, okay, pointing to it is the perception that will determine our mind or mindset, which will determine our behavior, and of course, our behavior causes, the external circumstances that we have in life today. Okay, so the question is, okay, all we got to do is change your perception. So, what is perception? What do I mean when I say awareness and perception? How do we know when we know something? Okay, that's a good one. How do we know when we know something? Or how do we know when we believe something? Or how can we be sure when we understand something? Interesting, huh? Well, it's actually very simple. We already know that. We already have the tools for that. We have the three reference system. We have the triangle of reality, and we have the three reference system in order to help us form our perception. Okay, a human being's perception or the awareness. Okay, awareness is like when you first come to be aware of something. You like first receive something. First receiving a knowledge. First become aware of something. It's like first open your eyes. But once you open your eyes, you start to see things. That is your perception. So awareness and perception go together. Mhm. Perception is more comprehensive. So what is a person's awareness and perception made of? It turns out a person's perception is made up of the images they have in their mind. The mental images, right? It is the mental images that help determine the perception. Furthermore, what inform a person's perception? It is the concepts that they have acquired. What they know, what they believe, what they understand. That forms the perception of life. Right? Can you perceive happiness? Well, guess what? What do you know about happiness? What do you believe about happiness? What do you understand about happiness will determine your concept, your source concept, or your perception of happiness. But concept itself is not enough. Okay, concept is not enough. You need the images as well. And furthermore, we have a state of being. State of being. Okay. In other words, inner state. Okay. When we mention a concept, when we mention an idea about, let's say, money, what kind of state do we experience? Do we experience negativity with respect to money? Oh, it's hard to come by. Money is the root of evil. We have to work really hard. Well, guess what? All of those are negative state. And guess what? When a person who has that negative state, it informs their perception about money. It informs their mindset about money. It informs their behavior about money. Do you think the person who has a negative state about money is going to go out and attract a lot of money? No, they're going to be poor for a very long time. Right? On top of that, if they have unbeneficial source concept about money, right? Money is hard to come by. You have to be born in a rich family in order to have money. You have to work hard or you have to cheat in order to get money. Well, those are all concepts about money that is unbeneficial. Guess what? That person's perception about money is negative and undesirable. Their mindset about money, all the things that they think about when it comes to money, and their behavior, that person is probably going to avoid acquiring money. Right? And then the images, right? When we talk about money, what kind of mental images coming up? Do you see images of, being financially free, being able to walk into the supermarket, buy things, and not having to look at the price, being able to travel the world anywhere you want, anytime you want, and not have to worry about your budget? Or is that or that person does that person have a perception of money that in the mental images of, um, credit card debt and bills to pay? All the images that comes up to mind that is negative and undesirable, or the source concept that is unbeneficial, and the state of being that is negative. And guess what? Their perception of money is negative, undesirable, unbeneficial, detrimental, and that informs their mindset, the way they think about it. Right? Not only they think about it, they behave a certain way with respect to money that repel money as opposed to attract money. And so the reality of life is they're going to be poor. So all we got to do is go to the root of it all. Mental images, source concept, the way of being, state of being, inner state, vibrational energy frequency. Okay, that is the perception. Okay, so the root cause of all of human beings, all of human life and experience is our perception. Okay, so if we want anything, all we're gonna do is go to work on our awareness and perception. Okay, does that make sense so far? If we want a desirable experience of life, we want the images to be positive. We want the source concept to be beneficial. And we want our inner state to be balanced and positively oriented as well. Okay? Okay? Yeah. And so let's talk a little bit about awareness and perception. Okay? And in fact, if this is a wonderful, exciting topic today, because this is when we really get to begin to take ownership of our life. Okay, this is beginning of mastery. Because today, this is the house of our holistic wealth and health. We're going to begin lighting up the first candle called a candle of wisdom. Okay, we are going to enrich our wisdom today. Okay, we're going to enrich our wisdom, which is the foundation of our inner being. Okay, so when we talk about wisdom, what comes to mind? Okay, this is a little bit interactive. I want to start from your circle of knowledge. What comes to mind when somebody mentioned wisdom? What does it mean to be wise? Okay. What is wisdom? From what do you know?
From what I know, it's like a person who has wisdom is pretty much knows everything and is
Okay.
able to guide you
Okay. Yeah.
with their
Okay.
knowledge. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
much.
Okay. They know a lot. They guide you. Okay. What else? What else comes to mind? When when you hear about wisdom, what comes to mind? Think of a person that you consider wise. Would they look like? What do they look like? What do they feel like? Unmute. Are you on mute?
Oh, okay. Years of experience. They have years of experience. They even
Okay.
tend to wear glasses. They look a little bit old.
Okay. Okay, good point. Okay, think about this. Does years of experience actually equate to wisdom? Consider a person who spent their entire lifetime experiencing a lot of pain and suffering, and they become very resentful of life, and they blame everything. Would you go to that person for advice?
No.
No. So years of experience does not equate to wisdom. Ah, okay. Wearing glasses doesn't help. Being old does not equate to wisdom. Have you ever met a young person that you would consider, you know what? That person is wiser beyond his year, right? So it is possible for a young person to be wise, to behave, to say things that we consider wise, and it's not related to age.
I think wisdom is a state of awareness of inner being. The
Okay,
people who have
you're
knowledge,
quoting you're quoting
the people who have
the
knowledge, but
answer
they
from
are
the
not
past.
wisdom.
Okay. Yes. So the key here is awareness. Okay. When you think about a
But
person
awareness
who's very
in inner
wise,
being.
yeah, when you think about a person who's very wise, do you get the sense that they have more awareness than we do? They have a more expanded awareness. They have more things, not just more knowledge, not just trivial knowledge. You can ask ChatGPT about it. You can be a winner on a how to be, what is that competition? How to be a millionaire, and you have a lot of trivial knowledge, right? That's just trivial knowledge. That's just a dictionary. You can pull that up in a dictionary, but that's not a wise person. A wise person seems to be able to have a degree of awareness, and they're able to point us in a way, in a direction that also raises our awareness. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so we're going to talk about awareness, but let's do some drawing. Okay, remember in part of our perception of reality, and we're going to create our own reality, is the images. Okay, here's a formula. Technically, literally, this is a formula for creating our reality, any reality we want, images. And since wisdom is a abstract concept, it's gonna can't put your hand on wisdom and hold it and give it to somebody, but we can if we can visualize it, if we turn it into a mental image. So do me a favor, and I want all of you to do this together. Draw a nice big candle. Okay, draw a nice big candle. We're gonna visualize it, or we're gonna imaginize it. Okay, turn it into an image and imaginalize it. Okay, visualize it. Little wick candle and a nice big flame. Nice big flame. I'm gonna take some time to draw it. I mean to paint it as well. And we are going to program ourselves with a statement. That says we are going to light up the candle of wisdom. Okay, we're going to light up the candle of wisdom. So whenever I say we're going to light up the candle of wisdom, you will see this image of a candle. Okay, you see an image of a candle. Nice, bright candle. Make sure you draw some radiant rays from that. Okay, I sent some of you a package of color pens and papers. If you have a yellow, we have yellow. Let's add some nice yellow ray to it. Take some time to create your reality right now. That is a candle of wisdom, and you want to label that. Nice big word wisdom. Okay. The flyer that I sent out says that wisdom is a seed of all forms of wealth in life. Okay, wisdom is a seed of all form of wealth in life. From what you know, who is the wealthiest person, who is the wealthiest human being that has ever lived? Who is the wealthiest human being who has ever lived?
Rockefeller. I don't know.
Okay, Rockefeller was the wealthiest human being of his time. He was the wealthiest human being in, the world at his time, and they sort of take turn, right? Who knows? I don't know. I wonder if Elon Musk is the wealthiest person of his time at this time. But there are also the Arabians, the Saudis kings, the oil kings. But the wealthiest human being who has ever lived in the history of mankind is often considered to be King Solomon.
Yeah.
King Solomon. Why is King Solomon considered to be the wealthiest man or human being who has ever lived?
If he's married all his wife's own.
Yeah. He is married to 700 wives and 3,000 concubines. And each of them represent a country. Okay? A lot of them are political marriage. And in the time, in the culture, that culture, um, political marriage, when you marry a wife or a concubine to a king, basically you ally yourself, you become an alliance with the country, so you basically give your country. So King Solomon, in his life, owned 700 countries and 3,000 smaller countries. Okay, so when you add all of that, it's very materially very, very wealthy. But what's wealth? What the lesson here is that God was so pleased with Solomon that he asked Solomon, what do you want? You can have anything you want. Okay, God granted Solomon a wish that he can have anything he wants. Okay, and what did Solomon ask for? Anybody know? He didn't ask for 700 wives and 3,000 concubines. He did not ask for money. He did not ask for political power. He asked for wisdom. Okay, King Solomon asked for one gift from God, the God of wisdom. I mean, the gift of wisdom. And because he had wisdom, he is able to accumulate everything else. Okay, and we just use the material expression of 700 wives and 3,000 concubines to represent the material riches that a person can have. 3,000 countries, 700 countries. Okay, so King Solomon asked for wisdom. God gave him wisdom, and therefore he became the richest person alive. I mean, ever alive in history. So from now on, when we talk about lighting up the candle of wisdom, know that you are planting the seed for the greatest form of wealth. Okay. With wisdom, you will be able to enrich any area, any and all areas of your life. Okay. So let's see. All right. Let's talk about wisdom. Okay. So I'm gonna use the triangle of reality. Did I write the sheet? There we go. Wisdom. Okay. A candlelight. Okay, the candlelight to represent the wisdom. And as we said early in a little bit earlier, that a person who is wise has a certain awareness that is greater than that we are. Okay, so let us define wisdom using the triangle of reality. Okay, like all things in life, all material, all physical material, as well as all human experience. Okay, wisdom is a human experience. As a human experience, wisdom has the material dimension. Okay. It has the energy dimension that will give rise to the material expression. And like all thing else, it has an information. Okay. There's an information of wisdom. What we're doing is we are materializing wisdom. Okay. Wisdom is a non-material concept, but we are materializing it. We are energetizing it. We are informationalizing it. Okay. So today we're going to focus on the information of wisdom. Okay, the information of wisdom. So here goes. Let me see. Okay, information wisdom. Okay, I'm gonna dictate, and I recommend that you write it down. Okay, the information of wisdom. Wisdom is simply understood as a concept. Okay, wisdom is simply understood as a concept. Wisdom is simply understood as a concept pointing to a state of inner awareness. Wisdom is simply understood as a concept pointing to a state of inner awareness. Okay, so basically, state of inner awareness, or just state of awareness. But we like to use the word inner awareness to call your attention to the seed within you. Okay, wisdom is simply understood as a concept pointing to a state of inner awareness. Okay, right? You notice that that the wise people have a greater range of awareness than unwise people. It's that simple. Okay, it is a state of awareness. We may have previously have certain concepts and images of wisdom. Some of them are not very beneficial. Here, not only that, they're very complicated. We think of wisdom as something that's, unattainable by us. You have to live through many years of life. You have to be old and, almost dying. You have to wear glasses. But with this simplified understanding wisdom, it's just a state of awareness. Anybody can have a state of awareness, right? Anybody can have a state of awareness, right? So wisdom is a concept, is simply understood as a concept pointing to a state of inner awareness. Next sentence is there are 5 levels of awareness. Okay, there are 5 levels of awareness, or 5 state of awareness. Okay, to be specific, there are 5 state of awareness corresponding to 5 levels of wisdom. Okay, here we're talking about awareness. So wisdom is simply understood as a concept pointing to a state of awareness. There are 5 states of awareness corresponding to 5 levels of wisdom. Okay, there are 5 states of inner awareness corresponding to 5 levels of wisdom. 5 states of inner awareness corresponding to 5 level of wisdom. Okay, so from now on, when we talk about wisdom, you just kind of know that we are talking about a state of awareness. Okay, because awareness and wisdom, they go hand in hand, but they're not the same. And I'll show you why they're not the same. Okay, when it comes to the inner awareness, okay, do we agree that everybody have a state of awareness? Everybody's aware. We have some degree of awareness, right? We may not have all 5 levels of awareness. Okay, this is where the difference between a wise person and not so wise person comes in. A wise person have more levels of awareness than an unwise person. Okay, but we all have awareness. Okay, as a human being, we are gifted with awareness. Okay, so let's explore a little bit more about each level of awareness. Okay, whereas wisdom is a concept pointing to a state of awareness, there are 5 levels of awareness, or 5 state of awareness corresponding to 5 levels of wisdom. So let's take a look at state of awareness number 1. Okay, let's write the number 1 nice and big. Okay, number 1. And on the left side of the page, you want to write the word awareness. Okay, leave some space for the right side. Okay, state of awareness number 1, or state of inner awareness level 1. Okay, you can say state of awareness 1 or state of inner awareness level 1. State of awareness level 1 is a state of awareness such that, okay, state of awareness level 1 is a state of awareness such that, okay, state of inner awareness level 1 is the state of awareness such that things, event, phenomena, and circumstances, or people, things, event, phenomena, circumstances, or people, things, event, phenomena, circumstances, or people are right or wrong, good or bad, true or false, should or should not. Okay? Right or wrong, good or bad, true or false, should or should not. State of awareness level 1 is a state of awareness such that things, event, phenomena, circumstances, or people are right or wrong, good or bad, true or false, should or should not. Right or wrong, good or bad, true or false, should or should not. Okay, that's basically state of awareness number one. So, right, wrong, right? Good, bad. Okay, true, false, should, should not. Oops, awareness, right? So from this definition, this simple definition, okay, state of awareness level one is having uh, an awareness such that circumstances, people, things, event, phenomena are right or wrong, good or bad, true, false, should or should not. Do we all have this awareness?
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, even as a baby, right? The first time that we put our hand in the fire or something, we know right away, right or wrong, good or bad, should or should not. Okay? As a human being, we all have this awareness. Okay? Okay, so that is just an awareness, and we carry this awareness throughout our life. From the time we begin to have a certain awareness until the time that we pass on, we carry this right and wrong, good or bad, true, false, should or should not. Okay, and basically this awareness, what does it do? What is the purpose of this awareness? What do you think that this awareness is, it's given to us for? Why do human beings develop right or wrong, good or bad, true, false, should or should not?
Because it's a norm. It's a society norm.
Okay, it's not a societal norm. It is to help us survive,
Mm.
right? To help us survive. We need to know what's right or wrong, what's good or bad, what's true or false, what we should or should not do. Don't put your hand in the fire. That's bad. Right? It helps us survive in the world. Okay, so it is a wonderful awareness to be aware that there are things that we should or should not do. There are things that are good and bad. There are things that are right and wrong. It helps survive in the world. Okay, even animal have some awareness of this, right? Even animal have some awareness of this, and we're animals. Okay, so awareness level one help us survive in the world. Okay, but imagine a person going through life and always everything that they encounter, and they encounter that as right or wrong, good or bad, true or false, should or should not. You know, what's it like to go through life and always judging and distinguishing things as right or wrong, good or bad, true or false, should or should not? It can be kind of limiting. Okay, can be kind of limiting. Okay, and to show that limitation, let me define the person of wisdom. So whereas on the left side is awareness, on the right side is wisdom. Okay, it's very simple. You can write this down. A person of wisdom level one, or a person who has the awareness number one, a person of wisdom level one is a person who has awareness level one. It's that simple, okay? A person of wisdom is a person who has awareness level one, which is a state such that things, event, phenomena, circumstances, or people are right or wrong, good or bad, true or false, should or should not. Okay, the person of wisdom has the awareness, and that is a awareness level one corresponding to wisdom level one. But, okay, big but, the person of wisdom level one proactively choose, okay, this is choice. A person of wisdom proactively chooses proactively chooses what? They choose to do the right thing. They choose to be good. They choose to focus on that which is truthful, true. They choose to do the should instead of the should not. Okay? Whereas all of us have the awareness of right or wrong, good or bad, true or false, should or should not, a person of wisdom will proactively choose to do the right thing, choose to be good, choose that which is true, and choose that which, that they should. Okay? So what does it say about a person who knows the right thing but choose to do the wrong thing? Have we all know things that we think is good, but we choose to do that which is bad? We know that which is true, but we kind of focus on that which is false. We know what we should do, but we should not. In that case, we say no wisdom. Right? It's that simple. No wisdom. We have the awareness, but no wisdom. Unwise. It is unwise to do the wrong thing. It is unwise to choose the bad. It is unwise to, speak falsehood. It's that simple, right? Awareness and wisdom. We all have awareness, right or wrong, good or bad, true or false, should or should not. That is awareness level 1. Wisdom level 1, on the other hand, is a person who proactively choose to do the right thing, to be good, who focus on the light instead of darkness. Okay? Why? Because a person who focus on the darkness, remember the principle of light, a person of wisdom is a person who proactively apply principle of light to the causality of human life and experience. Because when you focus on the light, you're spending your time being positive, you're spending your time doing the right thing, then more of your day is going to be filled with the right and the good, as opposed to focusing on the bad thing. A wise person knows that if you just behave, or you think you focus on that which is positive, they will reap the positive outcome in life. And we sometimes have this. Sometimes we have this wisdom, and we choose to do the right thing. Sometimes even when it's hard, right? Has anybody ever done the right thing, even when it's hard? But we can't seem to maintain it all the time. And okay, and when it comes to, let's say, relationship, okay, relationship. If a person just go through life in a marriage relationship, a spousal relationship, or our parent and children relationship, if we go through life and all day long we operate on the awareness of right and wrong, good or bad, true or false, should or should not. Oh, my wife is wrong. Oh, my son is bad. Oh, my children, this is false. Oh, you should do this, you should not do that. What do you think is going to happen to our relationship with people when we maintain the awareness of right or wrong, good or bad, true or false, should or should not? What do you think is the outcome? Okay, what is the outcome of a life if we only have the awareness level 1 without wisdom? What do you think? We all have this, we all have the awareness, but what happens to a person's life who only operate on this awareness of level 1, where things are right and wrong, good or bad, true or false, should or shouldn't, okay, without proactively choose the right, the good, the true, the should? What do you think? This is important to see if you can get this.
Sometimes you'll get it right, sometimes you'll get it wrong.
Okay.
Mhm.
Think of relationship. What happened to your relationship with people? Okay. What do you think is going to happen to the quality of your relationship with people? What the quality of your relationship with your spouse, the quality of your relationship with your children, the quality of your relationship with your coworker, your boss, your employee, when all you do is operate on the awareness level 1 when right or wrong, good, bad, true, false, should, or shouldn't.
Mm.
What happened when you're right and they're wrong?
Right? Will always be a conflict.
And there you go. There will always be a conflict. There's a 50-50 chance that you're going to be right, they're going to be wrong. There will always be conflict. There will always be argument, right? If all we have is operate on awareness level 1, then we're always going to be in conflict with somebody. Because you look at a circumstance, when you look at an event, you look at a phenomenon, you look at a person, and immediately, oh, that's wrong, or that's right, or that's good, or that's bad. And we're never gonna agree with other people all the time. So relationship is very stressful. Relationship with other people are very stressful when we maintain awareness level 1. Relationship with ourselves is very stressful. Oh, I did this right. Oh, I was wrong. Oh, I should not have done this. Oh, that's bad. Relationship with ourselves is very stressful. Do you guys get that? Do you get the impact of having awareness level 1 is great. Okay, it helps us survive. Okay, it is also our ego mind trying to protect itself. From the Western psychology language, it is our ego mind trying to it is ego's fear of death. It doesn't want to be wrong. It doesn't want to be it want to be right. So we argue. So do you know people who go through life always arguing through everything? They may be very good lawyer, okay? They may be able to win every argument, but they'll lose friend. You can win an argument and lose a friend. Okay, if you maintain a firm grip on awareness level 1, it is not very freeing. Okay, it is a trap. And some people do go through life, the entire life, winning every argument, but they will experience a lot of stress with themselves, with other people. Fortunately, we have wisdom. Sometimes we are fortunate enough to do the right thing. And sometimes that right thing means withdraw from the argument. Sometimes we do the right, we do things that we believe to be good. Okay, we stand above, what everybody else think, but it gives us a degree of freedom, right? To be able to actively choose to do the right thing, to be good. So a person of wisdom is one who spend more time focusing on that which is good, that which is right, that which is true, and that which they should do. Makes sense? You see the difference between awareness and wisdom? With awareness, there's no choice. It's just kind of automatic. It's right, so I'm gonna argue for it being right. It's wrong, so I'm gonna argue that it's wrong. But a person of wisdom will take a look. The one said this wisdom comes from people who get the information in an emotional level. They usually have problems. Okay? Okay. Okay. When we study about the human emotion, it is nothing more than a reflection of the mind. An emotion is a reflection of the mind. Okay. And it is a physical, a bodily expression of the mind that is in conflict. Okay. Well, anyway, awareness level 1 is good, but can be very stressful. Wisdom level 1 is wonderful. Okay. But we can't always, choose to be right and choose to be good and choose to be true and choose the thing to do all the time. Okay. Sometimes we know that that is the right thing to do, and the other person is wrong. So, even with wisdom, okay, we know that to be right. We know that to be good. And our spouse, our children, our coworker are just plain wrong. There is still the conflict. There's still the conflict. Okay. So how can we truly, totally, completely free ourselves from that conflict, from that stress with other people? Okay. That's the question, right? How can we free ourselves from that conflict with other people? Well, fortunately, we have level 2. Mhm. We have a state of awareness level 2. Okay, so this level 2 is so powerful, so freeing when you get this. Oh man, when you get the state of awareness level 2, you will really, really free yourself up from a lot of the pain and difficulties and challenges of life. Okay, state of awareness level 2. State of awareness level 2, or the state of inner awareness 2, is a state of awareness such that, okay, state of awareness level 2 is a state of awareness such that the root cause of life begins with the self. State of awareness level 2 is a state of awareness such that the root cause of life begin with the self. Okay. Once again, awareness. Okay. State of awareness level 2 is a state of inner awareness such that the root cause of life begins with the self. Okay, and I like to draw it like this. Root cause from self. Okay. State of awareness 2, or state of inner awareness level 2, is a state of awareness such that the root cause of life begins with the self. Okay. So a person who has the awareness level 2, a person who has awareness level 2, okay, a person who has the awareness number 2 is one who has the awareness that the root cause of life begin with themselves. Okay, a person who has the awareness of level 2 is one who has the awareness that the root cause of life begin with themselves. Okay. Comma, next statement, is one who fully comprehend and clearly recognizes. Okay, is one who fully comprehends and clearly recognizes. Is one who fully comprehends and clearly recognizes. Okay, the person who has awareness level 2 is one who has the awareness that the root cause of life begin with the self, is one who fully comprehends and clearly recognizes that all things and event, that all things and event, that all things and event come from the observing self, come from the observing self, from the seed of their very own mental images, from the seed of their very own mental images. Okay, come from the observing self, from the seed of their very own mental images, the seed of their very own mental images, not from the observed object. Not from the observed object. Okay, so this is a very, very important statement. Okay, a person of awareness level 2 is one who fully comprehends and clearly recognizes that all things and events come from the observing self, not from the come from the observing self, from the seed of the very own mental images. Okay, from the seed of the very own mental images, and not from the observed object. Okay, not from the observed object. In other words, all life experiences are subjective experiences. And there are no objective reality. Okay, in other words, all life experiences are subjective experiences, and there are no objective reality. That statement, didn't come from wit, but I just put that in. In other words, all life experiences are subjective experiences, and there are no objective reality. Remember the discussion on this? Do you guys remember when I say, what is this? What is this? And you tell me, that's the marker. Well, that's a pen. And I say, well, okay, you see that is a marker and that's a pen, but what would a puppy dog see? What would a puppy dog do with it? The puppy dog would, chew on it or, play with it. It may think it is a toy or a bone. But if I and the puppy dog were to leave the room, then what is it? There's no observer to perceive and this object, then it is essentially nothing. It is essentially nothing. What this is determined by our subjective, perception of it, not from itself. Okay, so that's why the statement is a person who has awareness number 2 is one who fully comprehends and clearly recognizes that all things and event come from the observing self, come from within us. Okay, our observing self. We are the perceiver, we are the observer, come from the observing self, from the seed of our mental images. Okay, we already have the seed of what this is. We already have the perception that this is a pen, so we say, oh, that's a pen. Or this is a marker, so we say that's a marker. But a different animal, a dog, does not have the same seed of mental image that there's a pen. It just sees that, as a bone or a toy. And so our experience of this is determined by our own subjective, experience, our own perception. It comes from within us, not from that object itself. Okay. In other words, all life experiences are subjective experiences, and there are no objective mean. Science can already prove this. Okay. And in the experiment to determine if a particle is a wave or a particle, science can already prove that the way you look at it, if you measure it to be a wave, it'll be a wave. If you measure it to be a particle, it'll be a particle. It is our subjective experience. It is the perception, the measuring that will determine what it is. Okay. Similarly, with our experience of other people or other things, who a person is determined by our mental images of that person, not by who they are. There's no essence. Their essence is empty. Okay, you guys get this so far? Okay, when did you get this part? Okay, wonderful. If you get that part, then there's a next statement. Okay, the next statement. So, comma, the person of period, the person of level 2 awareness. Okay, next statement. The person of level 2 awareness is one who does not seek change from external circumstances. Okay, that's just a person of level 2 awareness is one who does not seek change from external circumstances. A person of level 2 awareness is one who does not seek change from external circumstances. but fully grasp the need to change from within their inner being. But fully grasp the need to change from within their inner being. Okay? But fully grasp the need to change from within their inner being. So if I perceive this to be a pen or a marker, that is the mental images that I have. If I want to change what this is, all I got to do is change the seed within me. This is no longer a pen or marker to me. This is gold. Okay, this is gold for me. Because I have changed my mental images of this as gold, it will change the way I think, be my mindset about pens and marker, change the way I behave, and I can actually create gold out of this. I can mass produce this and sell it. I can use this to teach inner being courses and make a lot of money and bring about gold. But without that perception, without the awareness that, oh, what this is come from me, then I would just continue to paint and draw it, and I may not take good care of it, right? So if we want to change anything, we change our mental images, the seed of mental images. This is why Gandhi famously said, be the change that you want to see in the world. Okay, be the change that you want to see in the world. If you want world peace, well, change the seed within you, get peace. Get into the state of serenity, magnanimity, and honor and gratitude, and there will be world peace. Okay, so next statement. Okay, next statement. Is a person who deeply perceives, is a person who deeply perceives that seeking to change others is the beginning of suffering. Is a person who deeply perceives that seeking to change others is the beginning of suffering. Seeking to change others is the beginning of suffering, while changing oneself is the beginning of happiness. While changing oneself is a beginning of happiness. Okay? While changing oneself is the beginning of happiness. So that fourth statement is that is a person who deeply perceives that seeking to change others is the beginning of suffering, while changing oneself is the beginning of happiness. Right? So we can apply that to our own reality with respect to other people. Has anybody here ever tried to change another person? Try to change their mind, argue your way out of a point. Does that argument bring you peace and happiness? You can there's a statement, a person who changes his mind against his will is of the same opinion still, something like that. Okay, so try to change other people is the beginning of suffering. Okay, while changing oneself is the beginning of happiness. So I'll read for you the entire thing, okay, on awareness level 2. The state of awareness level 2, okay, or the state of inner awareness number 2, is a state of awareness such that the root cause of life begins with the self. A person who has the awareness number 2 is one who has the awareness that the root cause of life begins with themselves. Is one who fully comprehends and clearly recognizes that all things and events come from the observing self, from the seed of their very own mental images, not from the observed object. Okay, in other words, all life experiences are subjective experiences and there are no objective reality. Next statement. The person of level 2 awareness is one who does not seek change from external circumstances, but fully grasps the need to change from within their inner being. And finally, it's a person who deeply perceives that seeking to change others is the beginning of suffering, while changing oneself is the beginning of happiness. Okay? So you can kind of look at people that you may consider to be wise, people of wisdom. Do they take responsibility for their for the images? Do they go to work on changing themselves? Do they allow you to be who you are without trying to force change upon you? Right? When we interact with a person of wisdom, they may say one or two things that will point us in a way, but they are not attached to how we are, and they are not ever gonna try to force us to change. And we get the sense that that person is wise. Okay, and so with this awareness level 2, okay, imagine what would life be like when your relationship is one such that the people in your relationship are the people who have the awareness level 2, that the root cause of life begin with the self. Okay, it is not about who is right or who is wrong. It's not about who is right or who is wrong, but the root cause is for me. If in a house, let's say you see the house is dirty, right? Well, a person who has the awareness that root cause of life begin from the self, will they blame the house, the dirtiness on the spouse or the children or the parent? No, they just clean it up. The root cause of life begin from the self. It is not about good or bad. It is not about right or wrong. It's about not true or false or should or should not. They just get the awareness that root cause of life begin with the self. They take full and complete responsibility without blaming. A person of level 2 awareness, and we studied this in the formula for the root cause of life, the person who has the level 2 awareness has the awareness that root cause of life begin with the self, but not my fault either. Root cause of life begin with me. Because it begin with me, it's not other people's fault. But because it begin with me, it is also not my fault. Why is it not my fault? Why is there no blaming for a person who has awareness level 2? Why is there no blaming for a person who has awareness level 2?
Because at that certain time, was your awareness. That's what you believe was the right moment or the
Well,
right.
The
that's
choice
right.
to be
Okay.
made at that time.
But okay, we're talking about the definition of awareness level 2. Okay. Earlier, just now, we were talking about the awareness level 1.
Mhm.
Right or wrong, good or bad, should or should not. Blaming is what awareness level. Blaming is right or
Awareness.
wrong, should or bad. Yeah, you're wrong. I was wrong. That's wrong. That's bad. So that's blaming. Blaming is awareness level 1. Okay. Blaming is not on level 1. It's not even wisdom. Blaming is not even wisdom, because a person of wisdom of level 1 look at the good. Yeah, they look at the good. They look at the positive side of things. But a person who blames, whether they blame themselves or they blame that person, they're just stuck in awareness level 1. And that's a pretty detrimental way of being. All right. From a spiritual perspective, from a inner awareness perspective, right? We study the human energy structure. When you blame ourselves, when we resent, first of all, the state of being resentful, that is a negative or positive state. It's a negative state. And we already know that, we already understand the causality. If you plant a seed of negativity, you're going to reap the fruit of negativity. Your experience of life is going to be negative. So from an inner state perspective, your way of being perspective, resentment and blame is already at that moment a negative state. Not only that, from a the golden rule perspective, when you cause other people to feel happy, then you earn good merit. When you cause other people to feel bad, you earn bad merit. So when you blame yourself, not only you are already starting out negative, you are earning bad merit by making yourself feel bad. It's a double whammy. So a person of awareness level 1 who does not have wisdom is is at risk of constantly pulling themselves down and down and down, and their life will never get better. Okay. And so we can save ourselves now that we have awareness level 2. Awareness level 2 says the root cause of life begins with the self, but there's no blaming needed. It is not my fault. It is not my fault because I am at the moment of choosing. I didn't know any better. Okay. At the moment of my making whatever choice it is that I make, it is always in my best interest anyway. Had, when we look afterward, when we look at the outcome later on, that's the afterthought, that is the hindsight, then okay, the outcome is undesirable. So now we know there's a link to the cause to be not a good seed. But at the moment of choosing, we always think the best for ourselves anyway. We don't know anybody, because had we known better, we would have chosen better and our life would have been better. But because at the moment of choosing, we're ignorant of the outcome, and so we cannot blame somebody who is ignorant of it. Right? When a child put their hand in the fire, you don't need to blame the child for putting their hand in the fire. They don't know any better. Similarly, in legal society, right? A person can commit a heinous crime, but if they can prove that they were ignorant, or they're insane and they're not conscious of it, then the law has a way to reduce the sentencing. You cannot punish a person for ignorance as bad as you punish a person who willingly and knowingly do something that is bad when they know they have the awareness. So lack of awareness can help us, excuse us to a certain degree from resentment and blaming ourselves. Okay. So by nature, we have a lot of ignorance, and it's okay. All we gotta do is apply wisdom level 1 and awareness and wisdom level 2 and then beyond in order to improve our life. So once again, when it comes to awareness level 2, imagine what a family relationship would be like if both spouses have this awareness that the root cause of life begins with me. Especially when you encounter people, okay, with each other. The awareness level 2 is very useful and powerful in applying to human interaction and human relationship. When you encounter a relationship, an interaction with a human being, and that interaction is negative, is undesirable. If that person does something that is, painful, right? When you can determine that it's painful, that is awareness level 1. That is undesirable, that is painful, that is bad. Then immediately you can save yourself by elevating yourself to awareness level 2. Root cause of life begin with me. I don't need to blame anybody. I see that person, I see that situation as bad because it is the mental image in my mind that is determined that it's bad. You see the power of that? You immediately release the other person from blame. I'm experiencing this reality, this interaction as bad. Well, that's because the mental image within me tells me that that's bad. But I know that the root cause comes from me, so I don't need to blame myself. I don't need to blame the other person either. It's a powerful, powerful life raft if you're drowning in the ocean of the human emotion and the human mind. Awareness level 2. The root cause of life begin with me, but not my fault. And what would your life be like if your children have this awareness level 2? That when they're on the playground and they are encountering, let's say, a bully, and they get that, you know what? root cause of life begin with me. I don't need to blame them. I don't need to blame myself either. They never have to feel inferior. They don't need to feel superior either. It's just root cause of life begin with me, but I don't need to blame myself. Or at home, when a child see the dirty laundry and they realize, oh, root cause of life begin with me, and they just do the laundry. Doesn't matter who, dirty the laundry. Doesn't matter who wore which clothes. They take full and complete responsibility for themselves and the environment. Right? What would a business environment be like when the employees have the awareness of root cause of life begin with themselves? They no longer blame the boss. They no longer blame the economy. They no longer blame anything. They just take full and complete responsibility for themselves. That is the power of awareness level 2. Okay? It gets even better. It gets even better. Now that you have awareness level 2, that the root cause of life begin with the self, you can do something really, really powerful. Okay, you're gonna do something really, really powerful when you have the awareness that root cause of life begin with myself. You begin to remember, with wisdom, it is a proactive choice. So you proactively create your reality. You proactively create. Okay? Whereas the root cause of life begin with the self, and if we remember from the formula for the root cause of life, the seed within us, okay, the seed within us, the root cause, okay, is it not the mental images? Mental images. Well, a person of wisdom, guess what? Proactively create mental images. So, okay, they proactively create positive images, even if it is not yet there. Oh, this is powerful stuff. Even if the reality is not yet there, you can proactively create the possibility, create that positive images in mind. When I think Thomas Edison or some famous scientist was young and in school, and I think he had, I don't know, he had some condition that he could not focus in school, and so the teacher write a letter home telling the parent that your son does not have the capacity for learning. You should take him out of school because he's not going to be able to learn. His mother, instead of telling him that he has, a learning disability, his mother say that, oh, your teacher says that here that you are a genius, a child prodigy of exceptional ability, that they do not have the capacity to teach you. So we need to find higher education and better opportunity for you. Thomas Edison invented an image about Edison that was not there before. And as a consequence of her inventing that positive mental images, she instilled that image in his mind. Thomas Edison never thought of himself as having a learning disability, never giving up, and became, one of very famous inventor. Why? Because his mother refuses to accept the current image, and she invented a brand new image. Invented, here is a letter saying he has a learning disability, but she invented the possibility of him being a genius. Okay, to be able to see the potential of another human being is wisdom. Have we ever met a person who see the potential in us that we might not even see ourselves. Anybody here fortunate enough to have met a person, a mentor, a teacher, a guide who see the potential and they tell you something that you don't even realize that you have? Anybody here? You want to share anything like that? Anybody? Anybody here fortunate enough to have a friend or a teacher or a parent or a mentor or anybody who able to see? Sometimes they won't say it. Okay, sometimes they won't tell you that you have the potential, but the way of acting, okay, even with parents that sometimes are very harsh on us. Sometimes parents can be very harsh on children. But if you look at it closely, they may be inventing images. They may see your potential, and so they push you. Right? Do the best teacher are the best teacher not the one who push the children, make them do more homework, spend more time studying, maybe beat them up a little bit? Is it
I
not
have
because
you,
they see
co-Frank,
your,
or Ty
huh?
Frank. I
Say
have you,
what?
Ty Frank. You phone me every time if I'm not there, you're calling
There
me.
you go. Okay. Okay. I see you as an interviewing coach. I see Sen as a successful, a millionaire. Okay. Sen is already an owner of an orphanage. Win is already a CEO of a charitable hospital for children. Those are positive images that you gave me, fortunately. Okay, so you guys are fortunate to have wisdom level 2. Okay, that's for yourself.
Maybe Sun and I should cooperate.
Say again.
I say maybe Sun and I could cooperate.
Okay, yeah, you create. Okay,
Orphanage and hospital.
yeah, exactly. Create a new mental image of your son. Okay. For beginners, this can be a little hard. Okay, some people are very fortunate. Okay, that's why they're wise. Okay, even at a younger age, they're able to do that. That's an energy of good fortune. That is a merit that we talk about. Some people tend to be more automatically able to see the positive in other people. But we may not have that good fortune, but we are fortunate enough to be encountered with this philosophy. We now have awareness and wisdom. We may not have the automatic awareness to always see a positive image in other people, but we have the tool. Because wisdom is a proactive choice. You can proactively create. You can proactively create. So from now on, at this moment, when you can say, okay, I invent the possibility of my son being. I invent the possibility of my son being, and then fill in the blank. Can you do that? And you kind of have to do that from emptiness. Remember, there's the whole interaction. So you want to say that from emptiness. Okay, it's hard to draw a picture on a sheet of paper that's already got stuff of it in it. So you have to start from emptiness. Write the word from emptiness. Okay, from emptiness. So you have to erase all the bad image. Okay, let it go, let it go, let it go. Okay, what this is nothing. Okay, the essence of all things is empty. That's why we went through this whole interaction. The essence of this is nothing. So from emptiness, I create the possibility. Just a possibility. Okay, I create the possibility, or I invent a possibility of whoever it is, myself, my son, my spouse, being. I create the possibility of being, somebody being. Okay, you want to write the word being, and then you fill in the blank. Being what? Being happy, being cooperative, being healthy, being rich. Oh, invent all the positive. When it comes to possibility, how much possibility can you invent?
Infinite.
Infinite possibility. You see the power of the human mind? You see the power of perception? Okay. When you get this, you will get the statement in the Bible that says we were created in the image of God. Okay. Don't take lightly that statement. We can create our reality. Okay. Anything. Create any image. And when you have the image, okay, when you have the image, that's the first step. Create a new image. Next step, go find a beneficial source concept. Let's say you create the possibility of your son being cooperative. Well, go and acquire beneficial source concept of how to make your kid cooperative. There are tons and tons of lessons and teachings and mentors and courses on parenting on how to make your children cooperative. Okay. But it will be more helpful if you're doing it from emptiness, creating a reality, than from, oh, he's bad, so I'm trying to make him good. Okay, so be careful. So there's a mistake that we mistake is that he's bad, I'm trying to force him to be good. That's not level 2. That's level 1 awareness. That's not even wisdom. Because wisdom level awareness level 2 says what? Awareness level 2 says that a person of awareness level 2 is a person who has the awareness that the root cause of life begin with me, not other people. Begin with me. Okay, that seeking change in other people, seeking change in external circumstances will bring suffering. Changing myself will bring happiness. Okay, so let me read that one more time. Personal awareness level 2 is the one who has the awareness such that the root cause of life begin with the self. In other words, the root cause of life begin with me. Okay, it is one who fully comprehend and clearly recognize that all things and events come from the observing self, not from the observing object. So if you see your son as being uncooperative or whatever it is, then that's already the root is from within yourself. Okay, the root is from within yourself. You can't change him. You have to change yourself. You have to change your perception. A person of level 2 awareness is one who does not seek change in external circumstances. Does not seek change in external circumstances. You're not trying to change your son to make him more cooperative. That's level 1 awareness, not even wisdom. A person of wisdom is a person who will look at the good and ignore the bad. Let's say your son may do 9 things that are bad and uncooperative about 9 things. But can you identify at least one thing that he is cooperative and good at? Right? If you can identify one thing that your son is cooperative and good at, then focus on that. Acknowledge that. Magnify that. Praise him publicly over that. And guess what? When you spend most of your day acknowledging, recognizing, and praising your son from that one for that one good thing that he does, guess what? That's going to encourage him to do more. That which we honor, that which we appreciate, it's going to multiply. That's that's a reward system. He's going to want the praise. He's going to want the reward. So he's going to spend more time being more cooperative and more be more good. That's just wisdom level 1. To focus on that one good, magnify it. Okay, bring in the light. Okay, don't focus on the dark. Don't try to take the darkness out of the room. That's trying to fix another person. So the person of awareness level 2 does not seek change from external circumstances, but fully grasp the need to change from within their inner being. Okay? A person of level 2 awareness is one who deeply perceives that seeking to change others is the beginning of suffering. So all this time, we've been trying to change our children. We've been trying to change our spouse. We've been trying to change our co-worker. Guess what? We have been suffering. Yeah, it's a suffering. Do you want to be free from that? Okay, do you really, really want to be free from that? And if you want to be free from that, then you have to perceive that changing yourself is the beginning of happiness. Changing your perception of other people is the beginning of happiness. That is the root cause of life. And so, if you do want to change your son, okay, first change your mental images of him. Yes, you can go and acquire positive source concept. Learn how to be a better parent. Learn how to be the kind of parent that the children wants to be cooperative. See, there's a difference. One is to go to learn how to make your children cooperative, that's changing other people. But to learn how to be the kind of parent, the way of being that the children want to cooperate. See the two difference? One is to change other people. The other one is to change yourself in such a way that other people will resonate with your new way of being. So you can begin by inventing your new way of being. From emptiness, who I am is a possibility of being what? Being magnanimous, being peaceful, being accepting. And those are the seed that will cause other people to resonate and they will reflect. And then similarly, your statement of being, okay? So if you want to change your perception, invent a new way of being. Up till now, we may have been critical about our children, about our spouse. We have been critical. That is a way of being. That is a form of resentment. We have been critical. We have been negative about undesirable situation. Change the way of being. From emptiness, who I am is the possibility of being accepting, being at peace, being joyful, being, loving, being compassionate, all kinds of stuff. Invent something. So when you have a complete positive image, we have a complete and clear beneficial source concept, and you have a state of being that is balanced and positive, then you will have a full and complete perception of reality that will begin to inform your mindset, the way you think. Your behavior will change, and your external circumstances and other people will change too. But don't expect other people to change. You have to go back to the source concept. Okay, you go back to the definition. Okay. That's why I asked you to write it down. It's important that you write it down. Let's see. Okay, good or bad. So awareness versus where is it? Awareness versus wisdom. Okay. Awareness. Oh, okay. So awareness, level 2. Okay, you have mental images. You also have the other stuff, the source concept. Okay, so you know that if when you encounter any undesirable situation with another human being, okay, that is also partly because you have been acquiring and accumulating unbeneficial source concept about the other people. What we know, what we believe, what we understand about that human being has been negative. Right? When we think about the other person and we okay, that's a bad person. That person makes a mistake. Well, guess what? Your interaction with them is going to be negative. But now that we have the awareness level 2, the root cause come from me. My believing, my knowing, my understanding, all of that come from me, not the other person. Then you can change source concept. Okay? And the root cause from myself is also the inner state. Okay? Inner state. Sometimes we first meet a person and we suddenly feel bad with them. They haven't done anything, we haven't done anything, but you just feel bad. Do you notice that? Has anybody experienced a situation when you meet a person and they just kind of give you you just feel you don't like that? On the other hand, sometimes you meet a person and you've never not interact with them yet you just kind of feel like, oh, this person your whole life, and you really like them, you're really attracted to them. Your inner state with respect to another human being can be positive or negative even before you interact or work with them. Does anybody have this experience? It's especially good if meet the love of your life. You're like love at first sight. Okay. Well, if we have the awareness, level 2, that the root cause of life begin with the self, then we will also get that our affinity with that other person, be it good or bad, comes from us. Okay? Our affinity with that person, be it good or bad, be it positive or negative, whether we are repulsive to them or attracted to them, we get that the root cause come from the self. Okay? And in order for a person to just automatically have a certain affinity, a certain state of being with another human being, science cannot explain this very well. We have to go through the religion and the spiritual perspective. There's an explanation from the Buddhist perspective that we have acquired that affinity from past lifetime. Okay, so before we born into this lifetime, we had some interaction with that other person, and the outcome of it is a negative affinity or a positive affinity. And so when we come into this lifetime, we meet them and feel we attractive, or we meet them and we feel repulsive. So that expands our awareness, and we still take responsibility for meeting somebody and feeling negative or positive. It is still the root cause of life begin with me. I had planted some seed, I had done something, some deed in the past lifetime that I have accumulated some bad merit, and so my affinity with this human being is bad. Okay, or if I've done something in the past that's positive, and so my affinity with this person now is positive. Either way, root cause of life begin with me. And knowing that, then you can proactively accumulate and acquire merit with respect to that other person. Yes, I may have this negative affinity with the other person. I don't like them, they don't like me. We haven't done anything with each other yet in this lifetime, but we have a negative affinity. But I recognize that, oh wait, it comes from me. So now I can proactively acquire good merit. And how do we acquire good merit with another human being? Anybody, those of you who had studied this before, how do we improve our affinity with another human being? How do we improve our attraction or affinity with another human being?
Gorilla glue.
You what?
Gorilla glue.
That's to your husband, though.
Both scientific and a spiritual term is simple. You make them feel good. Okay? You make them feel good. In this philosophy, we say give them gift. Okay? Material gift works, right? Material gift works too, right? But here we can go deeper. We're talking about the 7 great gifts of life. 7 great gifts of life. Give them your smile, the gift of your face, your eyes, your mouth. The gift of your face is your smile. We just smile and they feel good. Right? The gift of your eyes. Oh, guess what? The gift of your eyes, get what? Mental images. It is your seeing, the gift of your seeing. We see another human being in a positive light. Can we give them the gift of good image? Okay, even if they're bad, even if our affinity with them is negative, can we invent a new possible image for a non-human being? That is the gift of your eyes. The gift of your mouth, which is kind word. Can we afford to give people some kind words, even if they're bad. Okay. We remember the anybody remember the mnemonic? Face, eyes, mouth is the first group. What about the next group in the middle? Anybody remember? The next three. Next three part of the body.
The
Remember I draw a picture of a human being sitting
Yeah.
on a chair?
It's the
chair.
soul. It's the soul,
Okay,
which
the
is
chair
the
is the last
heart.
one.
There's this
Heart,
heart, the soul.
body, and spirit.
Yeah.
Okay? Memorize that. First one is face, eyes, mouth. Okay, face, eyes, mouth. And then this middle part is heart, body, and spirit. The heart is the heart of gratitude. Give another person a gift of your gratitude. Honor their presence and be grateful for their participation. The gift of your heart, the heart of gratitude. The gift of the body is the hands and feet. You help them do something physical. Okay, help them. Physical help, kind action. And the third one is a gift of your spirit. Guess what? The spirit of magnanimity. Give them the gift of your spirit of magnanimity, your capaciousness, your bigness, your ability to hold them in your space and behold them in your gaze. Give your spirit. Are you big enough to contain another human being? The only way to contain another human being in your space is to be bigger. Give them your space. Magnanimity, a state of greatness. And finally, give them the gift of your seat, which means the gift of your position in life. If you have the position of happiness, find way to give people the reality of happiness. Well, guess what? We have the triangle of reality that you can transmit your reality to another person, right? What is the reality of happiness? Is it nothing more than what we know about happiness, what we believe about happiness, what we understand about happiness, the mental images about happiness, the source concept of happiness, the state of being happy? Can we give to another human being a state of happiness, a reality of happiness now? How about material wealth? Okay, being materially rich, financial independence. Can you literally give another person a state of being financially wealthy? We have the tool. We have the triangle of reality of material abundance and financial freedom. What do we know about freedom? What we believe about freedom? What do we understand about freedom? Give it to another person. That is the reality of financial freedom. On top of that, what are some mental images can we offer to another person about financial freedom? What are some source concepts? What is your way of being with respect to financial freedom? You can give another person your reality of financial freedom. Isn't it powerful? If you are in a state of good health, okay, you have the reality of health. How do we transmit the reality of good health to another person? Can somebody give it a try? You have the formula, the tools. How do you transmit a reality of good health to another human being?
Yeah. What do you know about good health? What do you believe in about good health? What do you understand about good health?
Good. That's a source concept. What else? What do you need? What else do you need?
Give them
Our
the
life
mental
begins with oneself. And we can change our images and our cause and outcome.
Yeah. Okay. Give people a positive mental image about health. Don't talk about diseases. Don't talk about diseases. Okay. Give people mental images about good health. Okay. Take them to a Ironman triathlon. Yeah, that's plenty of good mental images about good health. Right? Invite them to a mind-body purification session. So Ron and Donna, are you guys set to join me in August for mind-body purification?
August, I may be in
August 1 to
Holland.
5. Hmm?
Are we? I think we're going to Holland in August.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but we can join from there. We can join anywhere in the world. We're all connected.
Yeah, yeah, that session require you to be able
Oh,
to fast and
to
then
be
eat a
there.
specific type of food. So you kind of have to acquire those food So that's why being on site is better.
Okay, I think we did that before. Yeah, I will. What date
Oh
is
well,
it
yeah,
again?
in Canada they have the so they have in Canada.
Yeah,
There's different date. Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
What about Sen? Are you guys able to get together and do one of those mind body purification?
With Sen, he's about 4 or 5 days away from me.
Profile.
Yeah, the flight,
Yeah,
3 hour
somebody
flight,
you're gonna have to fly.
4 hour flight.
Who wants to fly to Southern California with me? Who want to fly to Southern California and attend it with me?
We do have a plan to come there, Frank.
But
Yes,
not
I'm
in
not sure
August
if I,
1st through 5th. Can
yeah.
you do it August 1st through 5th?
I'm not sure. I'll talk to Hua.
What about you? Same thing you can do a vacation?
Uh, we'll have
Want to
to
fly?
we'll have to check on that. Yeah, gotta.
Okay, yeah, check on the date, August 1st through 5th. I think it's going to be Saturday through Wednesday. Okay. The mind body purification course is you go in and you get to drink some fluid that get rid of the toxin in your body. Okay.
Mhm.
Through years of eating food, and we have been acquiring a lot of toxin in the body. Okay.
Mhm.
Not only in our stomach, our intestine, but in between the cells of our body, in between the blood vessels. Okay.
Hua and I did that before with
Yeah,
her group here in Canada, and yeah, it definitely pures your body,
yeah.
cleans your
And
body.
so, right. So if you want to be healthy, first of all, you got to get rid of the bad stuff. Okay, that's
Yeah.
just basic. That's just basic science. Okay, just like if you want their house to be refreshed, you got to clean out the old junk. Okay,
Mhm.
so the first process is cleaning out the ocean, getting rid of all the toxin, getting literally the trash. Okay, literally the trash, the cholesterol, the toxic stuff that is inside your intestine, inside your liver, inside your kidney. Anybody here have gallstone or kidney stone or bladder stone? Anybody have
Mhm.
stones?
I never
Okay,
have.
that's good. Some
No.
people are able to pass stones in the purification process. Okay,
Mhm.
so you get rid of the bad stuff and then you replace it with good stuff. So we get to eat very, very highly nutritious food. Okay, we get to eat very highly nutritious food, and it's all going to be grounded up, so we don't have to chew. It's going to be so simple to. It's all going to be organic, like vegetable, like 12 different vegetable in a single serving, and you basically replenish it.
Yes, we bought a
Before
juicer just
that,
for that.
huh?
We bought a juicer just for that program
There
that
you
we
go.
took,
Yeah.
so we could grind
Yeah.
like we drank it all.
Yeah. And the people who who go through this process of purification, first few days you're gonna feel pretty shitty. Okay, it's like you kind of clean your house and it hasn't been cleaned for a while, and when you're dusting and you're pulling stuff out of out under your sofa and in the closet, your house is gonna be pretty messy, right? You're gonna feel pretty crappy. Okay. Um, but after that, after a couple of days of cleansing, and replenishing with positivity, right? Nutritious food and organic vegetables and stuff like that, you're gonna start to feel pretty good. Okay. People lose weight. Okay, people lose 5, 10 pounds. I lost weight and I haven't regained it. That's the beauty of this method because when you lose it and you replenish it properly, your body knows how to maintain that state of well-being. Okay, it's pretty safe. The teacher is a Buddhist monk. Okay, he is a doctor in Eastern medicine. He is a PhD, a doctor of pharmacy in Western pharmaceutical. So he's a pharmacist. Okay. And he is a PhD in nutrition. So we get the best of all the best who will be guiding us. And if you're there, I will translate it into English for you. Okay. When do you think you can make it? August 1 through 5, you and your dad?
I'm not sure. I have to check my schedule. Let me see.
Okay. Ask early. Okay. Ask early. So make a commitment to your health. I'm giving you positive mental images. I'm giving you source concept. And I'm sharing it with you in a state that is balanced and positive. It is my way of transmitting the reality of health. During the process of cleansing, not only you drink things that will, make you go to the bathroom a lot, but there are chi exercises. Chi exercises, air, breath. The when you exercise it, your skin, you perspire, you sweat. Your skin is the largest organ inside the body, surface area wise, and your skin breathes and it detoxes. Every time you sweat, it get rid of toxin. So you smell bad for a few days. Okay, you will stink for a few days. That's because all the toxin is coming out. Your sweat is gonna feel terrible. Okay, your breath is probably gonna smell very bad because your lung is detoxing. All those all the nasty stuff is gonna come out. Okay, you'll be you feel shitty for a few days, but it's
Is
gonna
that the
be
baking soda water we have to drink?
no. It's magnesium. It's Epsom salt. It's got Epsom salt, which Epsom salt helps the intestine with the what is that process called? The movement of the bowel movement. Okay, Epsom salt, it help you poop, you get diarrhea. Okay, but you replenish it. We replenish it with water. Okay, you drink alkaline water. Okay, there will be alkaline water to be drink Kangen water. Okay, top of the line, high energy water, and then you replenish it with high energy fruit and vegetables, and everything. There are different time during the day that you will consume the certain type of food. So a balance
Actually,
of nutrition and water.
you acquire a
Um,
taste for the vegetables. Actually, it's pretty good. I enjoyed the
Yeah,
drink that we
yeah,
made.
they're actually very good. Okay.
Yeah.
And after day three, so first few days you just get rid of the stuff that is in your colon, okay, your
Yeah.
intestine. And then on the day three and day four and day five, you begin to detox your liver. Okay, you will be drinking oil, vegetable oil, okay, with
vegetable
nicely
oil.
mixed. Yeah, you'll be drinking.
Yeah.
It'll taste kind of like salad dressing. But when you drink vegetable oil at a specific time of night before you go to bed, right, your liver is most active at night. Okay, the first few hours of night, 9, 10, 11, 12 to midnight, the liver is most active. And you drink oil, that oil will go into your liver and it will cause your liver to dispel the crap that is inside the liver. So your poop will come out green, which is from the bile. It'll come out, the bile, which stores your liver biles and stuff like that, will also excrete the stone if you have the stone.
I thought vegetable oil is bad for you. It's oxidize your body.
You have to know how to. That's why you have source concept, right? Notice that your source concept and your inner state at this moment, is it negative or is it positive? So this is a doctor of Eastern medicine. This is a doctor of pharmaceutical and a doctor of nutrition. So you're in good hand, and he has many years of experience in helping tens of thousands of people.
California and
People
on.
who have all kinds of diseases. Okay, cancer. Cancer is nothing more than an environment of disease, of unbalance in the body. The cell divide unevenly because the environment, the hormone, and all that stuff is a environment of disease. When you restore an environment to its natural balanced state, the body will take care of itself. People who have allergy, people who have arthritis, all of that is nothing more than a state of unbalance in the body, physiologically, mentally, spiritually. So in the class, we apply all three of them. Okay, physical is the food. So far, I've talked about the material, the physical stuff. the food and the toxins and the water and the salt and all that. Those are physical stuff, but that's only a small amount. The mind body purification is also purify your mind. You get to meditate. You get to think positive thought. You get to think the right way. And so it is the mental energy, the mental food that we take in, we also cleanse that. And as a consequence, when your whole body, your whole mind, your emotion, your whole spirit, everything is in alignment and in order, there is no room for disease to take place. We don't cure disease. That's the beauty of it. The mind body purification is not to fix a disease. That's the doctor's job. That's medicine's job. That's surgery's job to fix the disease, to take the darkness out of the room. But when you realign yourself with your natural state of being, with your original, perfection, then there's no room for disease to exist. This cancer will go away. Okay, that's not a promise of cancer, curing cancer, but many people who have reported diseases disappearing, not because they have cured the disease, but they have put their state of being to wholeness, to balance.
Yeah.
That's the power of the principle of light. That's the power of balance. And a human being, we were gifted with the power of that balance. Our immune system depends on circulation, good circulation. But after through many years, our cholesterol and our diabetes and all of that stuff has constricted all the blood vessel, constricted all the pipe, all the meridians and all the glands. And so our body there's no bad circulation. And when there's bad circulation, just like any cesspool, why there's poor circulation, bacteria and viruses, they condense and they multiply and we get sick. But when you clean it out, you get rid of all the clogs, right? Kind of like pulling Drano down to your drain. When all the drain are gone, all the dirty stuff is gone, then we restore circulation. When we restore circulation, and all of the the immune system will naturally restore itself. That's the beauty of the principle of light and the beauty of balancing and the beauty of mind-body purification. But you do have to have the mental images, the source concept, and the inner state that is balanced and positive. And we have to do exercise. Okay, exercise is good. And we get to do meditation. Okay, so there's meditation, there's exercises, and it's fun. That's very fun. And the food tastes good. So when it's the moment that I say drinking oil, okay, this is the moment, this is a transformative moment. Okay, your immediate reaction is that, oh, is that bad for you? Well, guess what? What kind of source concept have you acquired that caused you to think that it's bad for you? What kind of inner state that you have at that moment, and what kind of mental images? At this instant moment, if everything is negative, 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 then guess what? Your health, okay, we have not acquired positive mental images, we have not acquired positive concept, we have not acquired an inner state that is positive and balanced with respect to health. And so our reality of health is less than desirable. But for a person who has a full and complete positive mental images, full and positive source concept, and an inner state with respect to health, right? In this case, a doctor, a nutritionist, and a pharmacist, along with countless numbers of people who have already experienced a transformation in mind and body, then they will have the reality of health. What they know, what they believe, what they understand is positive and conducive toward better health. Reality. You guys get that? I hope I have been able to transmit some part of reality of health for you guys. Okay. So if you can, make it a point to attend one of those mind body purification. If you can join me in Southern California, that even be better. Okay.
I have a
Not
question.
only, yeah.
Are we going through awareness 3, 4,
We will. Good question.
5.
We'll talk about
Yeah.
level 3, level 4, level 5 next week. I mean, maybe next week. On Saturday, I'm gonna take some time to do an assessment. Okay, I want to get an assessment of where you guys stand in terms of your awareness and your own transformation. You get to assess me, and then we will review. So it'll be a sort of like a Q&A review, kind of like midterm. Okay, not a midterm exam. It's just an assessment for me to see where you are and for you to assess me on Saturday. And we'll do that in a private session. I like to keep Wednesday open for public viewing, so people can drop in and out. So we'll talk about level 3 and 4 and 5 if we have time on Wednesday, but Saturday it's going to be a private session for us to assess each other. Does that sound cool?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, Frank. I met somebody on the weekend. We went hiking, and she is very interested in the knowledge. So I asked her to join your class. So
Okay.
she may be joining this week or next week.
Okay. Why do before I like to do it a little bit differently. So
Okay.
instead of just randomly inviting people to the class,
Yeah.
um, is it possible to have her connect with me? And so I
Sure.
can assess the way I assess you guys, right? Remember, I sat down with each of you at the beginning and I
Yes.
assess your need, I assess your goals and your dream, and basically we're able to, from even now, I am able to maintain a mental image of your goals and dream. And so as I build this program, as I take note and I prepare the classes, I am customizing it to your need,
Yes.
right? You notice that?
Yes. She is already a life coach. She's already teaching people. She even wrote
Okay.
her own book. So, but
Okay.
in a different manner.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will definitely get her to contact you.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Just send, and have her just do some way to connect. Okay. I love
Mhm.
to get to know her and then get to know where she's at and to see if she's interested. Okay.
Yes.
If she's
Her
interested
sister
in
is also in mentor.
hmm
She's a mentor with seven. She's in mentor
Oh,
by.
okay.
So,
Very
and she
good.
lives in, I think, California or somewhere in the States, her sister anyway. But
Okay.
yeah, so that's her.
So her sister is Vietnamese?
Yes, they're both Vietnamese. Yep.
Oh, okay. Right.
But she is very interested in this knowledge. So yeah, yeah, I will
Okay.
get her to connect. Yeah,
So
that's a small
I
world.
think I'm already has a Facebook connection. So I have her connection, but I have not had any official talk or discussion. So if you want, yeah, feel free to drop a line. That way it'll strengthen the connection, and then I can talk to her about it, and then we'll
Wonderful.
see if we can build a coaching plan. Otherwise, you can just kind of participate as on a free basis.
Yeah, we went
Okay.
for a hike on the weekend all together, so I got to know her a
Okay.
bit, and yeah, and
Okay.
her husband. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, okay.
Cool.
good night, you guys.
I will see you guys on Saturday.
Right?
Thank
Yep,
Yes,
see you
you.
Saturday.
Saturday.
Thank you,
Bye.
Sen. Thank you,
Thank
Ron.
you.
Thank you,
Yes,
Win.
Thank you,
thank you, Ty
everyone.
Frank. Thank you, Sen. Thank you,
Okay.
Win.
Okay.
Feel better, Frank. I feel
You
better,
can
Ron.
click end. We're gonna
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
That's the other account. You can click end for me. Click end. Mhm.
Bye.
Bye. Click end. Go ahead. Right here, man. You have to select it in order to get to end the audio. Okay, now you can do it. Oh no, that's that computer. That's the other computer. Okay. Okay, now it's okay. Let's end it.